Yeah, the first comment is we beat a really good team today. That's a team that, since they beat us up at Western, has been playing at a high level. They've lost a couple games, but they've been kind of overtime situations. So feel really good about that. The combination of securing at least a share of the conference championship and sending Robert Brown out the right way and ending the conference season at home anyway with a win, all those things combined make today truly special, and awfully excited for the team, and the crowd was fantastic as always.
Coach, out there you said you don't want to share this thing. What's the message to the team? Got to get those last two games.
Yeah, I mean, we got to go down to Florida, where we haven't had success in my last 2 years, and play well down there. And the idea is that this is a journey. It's not the destination like the quote says. It's not over today. This is just one step in the process, and we go down to Florida. That's the next step in the process, and we are looking ahead all year to the Legacy Arena and trying to compete for a conference tournament championship later. But other than that, our focus has been the next game, the next practice, until we can claim victory of a conference championship without sharing it. We're not going to cut any nets down.
And jumping a little bit ahead, how important is that #1 seed for this tournament?
Yeah, the #1 seed I think is great, and the big challenge is getting people at noon. You have a great excuse on Thursday the 10th to come out and cheer for the Blazers. But it is a big deal to have the #1 seed, but the biggest deal is when you get there, you got to play no matter what seed it is. But we're certainly excited about it.
Obviously, with the home win streak and the way you guys have played at home, you obviously played quite well here. With that in mind, how important is it for you guys going forward into the postseason to have your last two home games like this, where conference opponents come in and play you guys tough and force you guys to execute?
Well, it's good. I still consider us a fairly young team. Next year I probably can't say that. We only have one senior on this team, but I consider us a very experienced team. For everything we've been through last year, we've been in so many close games this year. And all those experiences you can apply on the court, the last 4 minutes when it's a close game. And today we made some mistakes. But what we're going to do is learn from those experiences and hopefully apply those later. But all of those things combined are hopefully going to help us in the conference tournament. But bottom line is, you saw these last two home games. They're nail biters, and we're going to have to play great once that time comes around.
Coach, the way this team has closed out those close games, Robert Brown described it as there's just a calmness for this team on the court in those scenarios. Is that the way you would describe it?
Yeah, it's a great way of describing it. It drives me crazy sometimes, because sometimes I want to yell and scream at him. I do yell and scream at him, and I just kind of like to get this blank stare back saying, Coach, we're good. We got this. We're going to figure this out. So there's a great deal of a positive tone would be there's a great deal of maturity on the bench, not from me, but from them. And so that's a good thing. And again, I think the experiences we've had over the last couple of years have got us to that point.
And how different is that from last year? Because like you said, last year it seemed like things weren't falling in your favor in a lot of these close games. This year a little different.
Yeah, and I think everybody, they've been through each situation, whether it's pressure free throws, whether it's getting defensive stops or a defensive rebound. And we are not playing perfect by any means. But I think those experiences have helped us grow. And it's the core of the team has been around for 2 years now. And so that core of those guys have been through so many things in these 2 years. And hopefully as we make the final stretch here, those are going to continue to help us grow.
What's Robert Brown meant to you?
He's meant a ton. He put he and his family put the confidence in me and the staff to do what's best for him. And maybe the best compliment that I can take is when his dad says, you did everything you said you would do. And I didn't really promise him anything other than we'd care about him. We'd do everything we can academically. We could do everything we can on the basketball floor. We'd do everything to help him grow as a person. But he came up and told me that, again, I was a man of my word. And I think Robert's leaving here when this season is over and the school year is over in a good position for the rest of his life.
Were you worried he might foul out there on senior day in this game?
There were some concerns. He usually has enough savvy and puts himself in positions where he doesn't get in foul trouble and then doesn't stay in foul trouble. But he certainly had those issues today.
Is it fair or unfair to say it's a bit of a luxury when Tosin gets going for you guys? Because it seems like when he's going and playing with energy, you guys literally seem to feed off.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, and I kind of could say that for a few guys. But when Tosin's playing at a high level, this team kind of goes to another level. But you also could say that with Dirk last game. But when Tosin's inside, especially on the offensive end, getting offensive rebounds and putbacks, it does add another element to our team because Chris Coakley is awfully good in the interior scoring. And outside of that, today Lewis was, but Tosin was as well. But if you start getting multiple guys as threats inside, now it even opens up more on the outside. But today he was huge.
You kind of alluded to it there. Like it seems like we talk about it time you get in front of the microphone, that different guys seems to step up each time. You mentioned Dirk, you mentioned Tosin. Just to be as a coach, do you have any inclination when each guy's going to step up at certain times?
No, you really don't. You don't know who's going to play well that day. If you look at the stat sheet, it's kind of ho-hum. Nobody blows you out of the water with all their points or all their assists. But at the end of the day, it's an awfully happy locker room because it is about the team success, and the guys are sure bought into that.
Lewis had some big buckets in the first half for you, or he pretty much had times in the second half as well. How key was his performance tonight, especially when you guys are down early and you kind of help you guys get back in?
Yeah, Lou was awfully important to us today. His energy has been consistent all year, and his minutes have fluctuated up and down a little bit, but his energy's been great always. But then when he adds that element on the offensive end, it's really good. He dives as hard as any of our bigs. When he gets that low post position, he can be awfully effective. So he was a big spark for us, especially in that first half.
Please get a share of the regular season title.
It's feel pretty good, in my opinion. I mean, everybody came together as a team. We've been standing together as a team through ups and downs. So.
Was it kind of, in some ways, good to have a homestand like this the last two games? A couple teams come in, conference opponents, give you guys a game, give you something competitive. Is that good maybe going forward?
Yeah, no doubt. Like, as long as our students actually get involved, it brings more energy to us, and we play better, more. So I just think we have one of the best student sections in the country.
Pretty emotional there with Robert, too. What does he mean to the program? What does he mean to this team?
It means a lot, even though he's sitting next to me every day and, you know, talk about me every day. But he's a good guy, though. We're going to really miss him, and I'm just glad we got the win for him and for our program.
Any more questions for Lewis? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Did it ever cross your mind that you might foul out on your own game day?
Nah, I didn't think so, but anything can happen.
How big would I mean? Close game, a really good win for you guys. How did that make the ceremony at the end that much more special for you?
Definitely, but just more so focusing on just winning that championship. That was everything we had talked about. Coach didn't really get too much into it because his singular focus is on winning the conference tournament, but he mentioned it a couple times in other coaches, but the guys in the locker room really wanted to make sure we got the share of the championship, at least on our home court.
Once the game was in hand, can you describe what the emotion of the moment was like for you?
I guess it's kind of hard to, just overwhelming. Everything, being able to play in here and have the crowd behind us every game we've had for the last 2 years, and seeing them how much they've traveled and how much the growth has traveled. There was a few people that used to travel when we first started, but now to see games like Southern Miss or La Tech, when you have buses of people coming out to support us, it just means a lot.
And for you to close out your career in this way, obviously you guys still have a lot ahead of you, but to come out on top last year, this year, how much does that mean to you personally?
I mean, winning's everything. Coming from 2 seasons where we were either the bottom of the ACC or I think we were third from the bottom, to being able to come and win games and win championships, that's what every player wants to do, and it was a huge accomplishment.
Look, obviously you guys have been dominant at home, but is it good maybe going forward, going into the postseason, these last couple weeks of the regular season, to have 2 tight games at home against conference teams that play you guys tough, especially knowing that you're going to be in Birmingham?
I don't want to say we had a big bubble, like we were too confident, but seeing that team, they can play us, and even in Birmingham and Bartow, that teams want to compete, and we're going to take their best shot every night. So it just shows us things that we need to focus on a little more and tighten up in practice.
You mentioned seeing the growth of the fan base, the growth of this program. How much pride do you take knowing how significant of a role you played in that?
Tremendous. I absolutely love being in Birmingham, and I was real skeptical when I first decided to transfer and come, but I mean, being here, it's really felt like home, and the fans and everybody has embraced me and my family, and it's just been a fantastic deal.
We've been asking everybody what you mean to the team. What does Jared House mean to you?
Coach Hass means everything. Him trusting in me and just being able to put his team in my hands and let me play. It's kind of, I don't want to say you can't describe it again, but it's one of those things that unless you have that trust and he has in me, it's just unbelievable.
What was it when you guys were down 11 early that got you guys back in and then eventually overtook them?
Defense. Once we finally started to play a little defense and string a couple of stops together, then the game started to turn in our favor.
The last couple of games here really come down to the final 5 minutes. How confident do you guys feel in your abilities to close out close games late?
I think we're going to win every close game. Last year we were in a bunch of them and we lost them all. So learning from the mistakes we've had, and even throughout this year learning the times that we were able to pull it out, just having those different things and being able to learn and pull from them, I think no team, especially when we get in that situation, can beat us.
Is there just an increased comfort level in those situations now?
I don't want to say it's a comfort level. It's just I think we're a lot calmer than the other team because we've been there, and just we don't get complacent. We don't want to be there, but once we get there, we know what we have to do because we had to do it.